stop right there. Before you spend another second believing that heaven has put you on mute, you need to hear this right now. What you've been calling invisibility isn't abandonment, it's positioning. Your time on the sidelines is officially over. There is something shifting over you, not just for you, but over you, that is going to change the atmosphere before this video even ends. Stay with me until the very end. Before we're done, I'm giving you a 3-step protocol to activate everything that's been stuck. Don't click away. It's not just tiredness. It's that specific Wednesday afternoon slump when you look at everything you've built and feel like you're a ghost to anyone who actually matters. You've put in the work, you've prayed, you've prepared, and yet the silence is deafening. This isn't a lack of faith. It's that gray area between belief and total confusion, where you're still praying, but you can't tell if you're being heard or if you've just gotten really good at talking to yourself. There is a painful difference between praying out of habit and praying out of certainty, and you know exactly which one you're doing right now. It's not envy. At least you try to tell yourself it's not. But when you see someone with half your talent, half your grit, and zero waiting time getting the promotion or the platform, you feel that sharp sting in your chest that hurts too much to be anything else. And then comes the guilt for even feeling it. That's a heavy 2-for-1 special to carry around. And then there's that moment, usually after 11 p.m. when the house goes quiet, where you open your phone for no reason at all. You just need the silence to stop being so heavy. You need something to tell you that you're still real, that you still matter, and that someone, somewhere, actually sees you. You are still standing after all of that, and that isn't just toughing it out. That is an anointing that hasn't found its moment to break through yet. Think of the like button as your public amen. Heaven tracks what you confess in the light. Hit that like button right now. I haven't lost sight of you. I've just hidden you from everyone else's sight for a reason you can't see from your current angle. Here are the 3 things you are going to walk away with today. First, what you're calling invisibility is, in God's plan, a sealing process. You aren't being ignored. You're being protected from premature exposure. Anything anointed before its time breaks before its kairos moment. It wasn't a delay. It was preservation. Second, before we finish, you're getting 3 steps to activate this status shift. From the hidden place to the visible place, from invisible prep to anointed manifestation. These are simple steps, and they are for today. Third, you're going to take one specific sentence to bed with you tonight that will change the entire tone of your tomorrow before you even open your eyes. Don't leave before the end. Don't break the connection now. You're here because at least one of these signs has hit your life recently. Close your eyes for a second. Listen closely, because what you called a problem has a different name in the spirit. The first sign, the silence of opportunities. You feel like while everyone else is getting the calls, the promotions, the invites, it's like the world lost your number. You sent the texts, you showed the work, and you got back a whole lot of nothing. You called it bad luck. You called it a lack of who you know. Actually, it's seasonal protection. I closed those doors because the door that's worth your whole life isn't open yet. And when it opens, there won't be any way for you to miss it. The second sign, deadline-free fatigue. It's not laziness. It's the exhaustion of running a race where no one told you where the finish line is. You wake up ready to go, but by noon you're crashing because you don't know which direction to run. The energy is there, but the target is hidden. That is the sign you are at the end of your training. The final phase is always the heaviest because the weight of what you're about to carry is being tested before the title is given. If you're in the final stretch, you're carrying 2 weights. The weight of what hasn't arrived yet and the weight of what's already being deposited. The third sign, being ghosted by people. You've noticed people just vanishing. Friends who were close have drifted. Group chats you were in have gone quiet. The texts that used to come through have stopped. You called it abandonment. You called it betrayal. It's actually strategic separation. I am removing anyone who doesn't have the capacity to see you for who you are becoming. I can't take people who knew the old you into the version of you I'm building. The people who left simply didn't have the vocabulary for your next chapter. The fourth sign: internal certainty versus external reality. There is something deep inside you, not ego, not a delusion, that knows you were made for more. But on the outside, nothing confirms it. The internal mirror and the external mirror don't match. This creates a tension that's hard to describe. That gap isn't crazy. It's the exact sensation of being prepared for a reality that doesn't exist in the physical realm yet. The visible always shows up after the invisible is done. The fifth sign: being tired of explaining yourself. You've stopped trying to convince people of your value. Not because you gave up on yourself, but because it's clear that not every eye can see what's still being formed. You stopped asking for validation. You stopped justifying your path. It felt like a defeat, but it was actually maturity. You don't need to be understood by everyone. You just need to be seen by me. And I've already seen you. If any of those signs hit home, type "free" in the comments, because this word was meant for you. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. This won't work if your attention is split. There's a man you need to meet, but not the way you heard about him in Sunday school. His name is Joseph. Joseph wasn't just sold by his brothers. He was separated by them for a purpose they didn't have the capacity to carry. The pit wasn't a punishment. It was the first step of his transportation. Egypt wasn't an exile. It was the only stage big enough for his gifts. The problem was, Joseph didn't know that while he was in the pit. What people forget about Joseph is that at no point in the story does he know he's getting promoted. He goes from pit to pit, from his brother's pit to Potiphar's prison. And in every pit, he does the same thing. He manages, he serves, he operates with excellence, even without an audience, even without applause, even without a single confirmation that anyone is watching. Joseph's promotion didn't come when he prayed the hardest. It came when Pharaoh had a dream that no one else could interpret, and suddenly, the man who was invisible in the dungeon was the only one on earth with the answer. In one day, he went from prisoner to prime minister. One day. But it took 13 years of invisibility to build the character that could sustain that office. Those 13 years weren't wasted. They were invested. Now let me bring this closer to your life. Before any product hits the shelves at the Apple Store, there's a phase the consumer never sees. Research, formulas, testing, adjustments, more testing. The product goes through approvals, redesigns, and reformulations. No one knows it exists yet. No marketing, no launch, zero visibility. But when it finally hits the market, it looks like it just appeared out of nowhere. The maturity of the product is invisible to everyone who wasn't in the lab. You are in the lab. It's not that you don't exist to the world. It's that you're in the final formulation phase. And when you arrive, people will think you blew up overnight, because people who didn't see the process can't imagine the care put into every step that no one witnessed. Joseph and the unreleased product follow the same logic. The hidden time wasn't wasted. It was invested. And that invisible investment is what supports the visible promotion when it finally hits. Do you see yourself more in Joseph or in the unreleased product? Tell me in the comments. That image came to you for a reason. Let me stop for a full minute. Up until now, you've heard about the signs. You've heard about Joseph. You've heard about the invisible phase. Now let me tell you what is objectively true about your life right now. You haven't quit, even though you had every reason to. You haven't turned bitter, even though you had the right to. You're still praying, even when you don't know if the prayers are landing. And you are here, at this exact moment, hearing a word that could have gone to anyone, but it found you. Those aren't accidents. Those are data points. And here is who you are in the middle of all this. Before I tell you who you are, let me tell you what I saw. I saw every time you opened your mouth to praise when your heart was breaking. I saw the morning you got up when you didn't want to exist. I saw the silence you swallowed when you wanted to scream. I saw the 11 p.m. scroll because the quiet was too heavy. I saw it. And what I saw changed the decree over your life. The first identity you carry is the reserved, the origin. You weren't lost by the system. You were pulled out of the system so you wouldn't be molded by it. There is a massive difference between being ignored and being set apart. What happened to you wasn't negligence. It was source protection. The process that formed what's inside you needed to happen away from eyes that would have tried to rush it. The process. Your invisibility wasn't a prison. It was a spiritual quarantine. It was protection against the contamination that would have corrupted your calling. Every month you spent out of the loop was a month you weren't compromised by an environment that wasn't ready for the version of you that's about to arrive. The second identity is the formed in the secret place, the origin. Everything of real value is built without an audience. Diamonds aren't pressurized in public. No pressure that creates value happens with a crowd watching. What is being built in you required a lack of exposure, not because you didn't deserve it, but because the formation couldn't handle the distraction, the process. Every month of waiting was a layer of character added with precision. The person you are today can actually carry what's coming. If you had arrived earlier, you would have cracked, not because you were weak, but because what's coming is too heavy for anyone without the structure you built while you were hidden. The third identity is the anointed for Kairos, the origin. There are moments in history where someone has to be ready to answer. Not just anyone, someone formed specifically for that context. You were prepared for one of those moments, not generically, precisely. The process. What felt like a delay was actually synchronization. You can't arrive early to a Kairos moment. You either hit the window or you don't. The clock you were looking at was the wrong one. The time being counted wasn't your time. It was the arrival time. Which identity do you recognize in yourself? Write it in the comments. The reserved, the formed, or the anointed. And subscribe to the channel right now, because the next word is going to find you already in position. Everything I've told you is real, and you can take all of it with you today, for free. But I have to tell you something. Understanding you are anointed and actually unlocking what's being held back are two different things. And the second one requires tools most people never get their hands on. I didn't create what I'm about to show you. I found it. During one of the heaviest seasons of my life, when I didn't know if heaven was listening, I was led to a 21-day structure that has existed for centuries. It's not a trend. It's not a self-help hack. It's a protocol that works on the deepest layers of spiritual blockage. The Miracle Journal. 21 days to unlock retained blessings. What it does is simple to describe, but impossible to ignore once you live it. Cycle 1. The breaking. The first 7 days identify and name the specific blocks holding back what belongs to you. Not delayed blessings, retained blessings. There's a difference. What's delayed comes with time. What's retained needs an active unlock. Cycle 2, the clearing. The next 7 days work on removing those blocks. Thought patterns, broken vows, doors opened by others in your family line. Basic prayer doesn't always hit this layer. This protocol was built to go where generic prayers don't reach. Cycle 3, the possession. The final 7 days aren't about waiting. They're about active possession. This is where the status shifts from invisible anointed to manifest anointed. It's not a celebration. It's a deliberate move. Bonus 1, the prayer guide. 15 prayers for specific moments. Not generic ones. Prayers for when you get bad news at 10 p.m. For when fear wakes up before you do. Bonus 2, the Psalms Manual. 10 Psalms with full context and guided meditation. Understanding what David was going through when he wrote them changes the weight of the words. The investment? Less than a coffee and a bagel at Starbucks on a Friday morning. That's what stands between you and 21 days that could change the trajectory of the next 10 years. And if it doesn't work, 7-day money-back guarantee. No questions asked. You keep the bonuses anyway. You lose nothing. The only thing you can lose is staying exactly where you are. But let me tell you what happens if you hesitate. Hesitation has a spiritual name. It's called destiny postponement. The same mechanism that made you wait until today will use this exact moment to convince you that you can start later, after payday, after you solve that one problem, when you feel ready. The voice of hesitation sounds like wisdom. It's not. 3 people who were exactly where you are. A woman, 34, on a Sunday morning. She had the 3rd sign, people vanishing, silence everywhere. On day 15 of the journal, she got a call from someone she hadn't seen in 2 years, offering exactly what she needed. Not a coincidence. An unlock. A man, 41, on a Tuesday. He had tried everything. 2 years in a pit, just like Joseph. Invisible. Waiting. On day 20, the meeting he had been asking for since 2022 finally happened, and he was ready for it in a way he wouldn't have been 2 years ago. The delay was the training. A woman, 27, she bought it while doubting it. On day 7, she cried without knowing why. Her mom called the next day and said something sounded different in her voice. It wasn't the voice. It was the status. The link is in the first pinned comment. Not tomorrow, not after your shower. Now, while you still feel the weight of this word. What comes next is your first concrete step. The protocol you are going to do before today is over. It's called the status protocol. 3 steps. Do this before you sleep. All you need is a pen and paper. Step 1. Name the invisible. On a piece of paper, write down one thing you know exists inside you that no one has seen yet. Not an achievement, an essence. I know I have the capacity to. Write it down. Pull it out of the invisible. Writing is a declaration that what exists in you has form, a name, and a reality. Step 2. Declare the status out loud. In an audible voice, not a whisper, say, "The status heaven has declared over me does not depend on human confirmation. I am seen where it matters." Say it once. Say it again. The 3rd time, be silent. Let the words fill the room. Step 3. Sign the change. Write below what you named in step 1. This has been seen. This is real. This will manifest. Put today's date. Sign your name. This isn't a hollow ritual. It's your voice agreeing with the decree. The sign that it worked won't be a high or a goosebump. It will be a stillness, a specific calm that comes from something clicking into place. When it hits, you'll know. In the next 72 hours, 3 things will be launched against you. Not as a maybe, but as a certainty. Tactical emptiness. A feeling that none of this is real will try to set in. It will come disguised as maturity or discernment. It will sound reasonable. Your weapon. The date on that paper. What you wrote wasn't an emotion. It was a decree. You don't negotiate a decree with a feeling. Tactical comparison. You will see someone, probably on Instagram or LinkedIn, being promoted or celebrated. You'll be tempted to use that as evidence that you're falling behind. Your weapon. What was promised to me does not compete with what was promised to anyone else. Anointed status isn't a competition. It's a unique position. False urgency. A crisis will pop up. A problem. A drama that tries to consume the exact time you set aside to act on what you heard today. It will feel mandatory. Your weapon. Recognize the pattern. The enemy doesn't stop things that don't work. He only moves when something real has been planted. Type protected in the comments. The decree is sealed. Before you go, do one thing. Stop where you are. Put both feet on the floor. Straighten your back. Put your right hand on your chest. Not as a symbol, but as a connection point. Now let go of everything you've been carrying. The weak, the doubt, the weight of being forgotten, the silence of the phone at night, the people who left. Let it go. Not because you're pretending it didn't happen, but because you don't have to carry it anymore. I saw the Wednesday night. I saw the phone screen at 11 p.m. I saw the people who left and the silence they left behind. I saw the sting in your chest when you saw someone else get the win. I saw the guilt that followed. I heard every prayer you made when you didn't think I was listening. Not as background noise, but as a declaration from someone I chose. And what I choose, I do not abandon. What you called invisibility, I call reserve. What you called delay, I call synchronization. What you called abandonment, I call separation. Because I had to pull you away for what is coming. Your status is not invisible. It never was. It was reserved. And what was reserved is about to be revealed. Not on your timeline, but on the timeline that ensures you won't break when you receive it. You are not the same person who started this video. That isn't a quote. It is a decree. It is done. You leave here anointed and visible in the realm that matters. What heaven has decreed, no human silence can revoke. Go. Amen. Type done in the comments, because heaven records what you confess in public. Now think of one person, not a group, one person who you know is in a pit right now. Someone invisible and tired. Send this to them today, not tomorrow. Today. The next video continues where this one left off. Stay with us. It is done. You are not the same person you were when this message started.